Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Tuesday, July 26, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here to go over a full MLB main slate for tonight. We have a great MLB slate, multiple games, pretty good weather. We've got a few spots that have a chance of rain, but all in all, it looks like a really packed slate. A lot of competitive games. We have a Coors game to factor into the mix today. But had a nice day yesterday. Fanduel really bailed us out. We had some nice winners there. Big shout out also to Deb. Deb jumped in yesterday. I was having some connectivity issues here with my internet. So Deb went solo for the first time. And man, she did fantastic. She's just unbelievable. She can jump into any situation and just dominate. She's the best. So great job there. Crash was going to join me this morning, but he was feeling a little under the weather, so he's getting a little extra rest. His COVID test was negative, so that's a good thing. So maybe just a quick day bug here. So I am solo today, and we're going to run through this schedule like we normally do. We are going to add a segment. We've had some people suggested in YouTube and on Twitter, and we're going to add our top 2 favorite bets of the day. So if you're wagering on baseball, we're not only going to give you the Prizepicks plays, we're also going to give you our top 2 wagers. So something a little extra to add in there. If you like that and want to continue to see that, shoot us a comment, let us know. And you can do that right here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you, especially those that watch every day. We give you the very best content in front of the paywall, I think, in the MLB industry, and we really appreciate each of you. If you can take a second, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. That means a lot. And then a little comment. That also means a lot. That interaction helps us move up the algorithm on YouTube, and that is very much appreciated. If you're listening to us on any of our audio podcasting landing spots, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, any of those spots, take a second, give us the top rating, a 5-star, whatever it is on that particular site, and a couple words, a little tiny comment there. Anybody that does that on our audio landing spots, our man Colin goes through with his randomizer and picks one person, and they win a 1-month free membership to Coach Talk. And there's less than a week left in this month already. It's almost August, knocking on the door of the NFL. Hard to believe. So take a chance at that. That'd be great. If you want to join us here at DFS Coach Talk, it's the perfect time to do it. We have our MLB second half special that goes from today all the way to October 1st. And that's only $110. You get everything we've got, all of our baseball, all of our lineups we provide for Draftkings, Fanduel, and Yahoo. We give out extra picks for Prizepicks, and our wagers. We'll be giving out 2 extra wagers now, best bets of the day for those plays in baseball. And then we also are going to be supporting golf as far as PGA and Live Golf. We're doing both tours, as crazy as that is now. And then we've got a lot of MMA going and NASCAR, all kinds of fun things. So come and join us. We would love to have you. All right, we're going to dive right into this slate. As we said, there are 2 games that don't matter to us much today. There's a 2:20 game, Pittsburgh Pirates at the Chicago Cubs. It's a 9 total. It is Bryce Wilson against Keegan Thompson. And if you're playing that single early game showdown slate, Bryce Wilson's 14-7. Keegan Thompson is 16-2. Nice implied total here for the Cubs at 5.19, only 3.81 for the Pirates. Nice, warm, beautiful day in Chicago. Slight wind blowing in from right, 78 miles an hour. The other game that's at that quirky time that's not going to fit into our main slate is the Miami Marlins versus the Cincinnati Reds. You have an 8.5 total there. Pablo Lopez at that 16.2K showdown price, and Hunter Green at 15.6. Interesting matchup there. I wouldn't mind playing a little bit of this game. It is a very nice day in Cincinnati, 75 degrees, light breeze, 4.34 implied for Miami, and 4.16 for the Reds. All right, let's get into this 13-game main slate. This is where the money's going to be made today, and we are going to dive right in. First game that does have a bit of a rain chance, we're going to keep a very close eye on throughout. It's the Tampa Bay Rays at the Baltimore Orioles. We have an 8 total in this game. Shane McClanahan, 10.3K versus Spencer Watkins at 5.8K, almost half price from McClanahan. We've got beautiful weather in Baltimore, and unless it rains, there is a chance of rain, but it's light. It's about 20%, so I'm not too concerned about it. It should be actually a beautiful day there, 76 degrees, no wind to be heard of, really. 4.73 implied for Tampa, 3.27 for Baltimore. Next game is 7:05, Atlanta Braves versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Really good pitching duel here. Interested to see how this one's going to roll out. Beautiful day in Philly, 80 degrees. Slight breeze blowing out to right, 6 miles an hour. You've only got a 7.5 total because of the two good pitchers. 3.85 for Atlanta, 3.65 for Philly. And it's the youngster Spencer Strider at 8.7K and Aaron Nola, the veteran, at 10K flat. 7:07, we've got St. Louis at Toronto. Probably the Dome going to be open in Toronto, but we'll see. We'll give you an update on that in Discord. Ball tends to fly a little bit more when that roof is open. So we've got a 9 total in this game that starts at 7:07. 3.52 implied for the Cardinals, a big 5.48 for Toronto. So stacked team there, it looks like. The reason for that is, I guess, Andre Palante, the rookie, he's only 5.5K, and he goes against Jose Berrios and his 7.9K salary. We move to a 7:10 game, the Guardians versus the Red Sox. No line is up on this one just yet because we're not sure who the pitcher is going to be for Cleveland. It's either going to be Brian Shaw or the spot starter Kirk McCarty, or that combination of where Brian Shaw will be the main pitcher with just the first inning or so from McCarty. Josh Winkowski and his 6.2K will take the mound for Boston. So interesting game here. 79 warm degrees in Boston. Slight breeze blowing out right to dead right at 8 miles an hour. So possibility of some big runs in that game. No question about it. We've seen what can happen in that ballpark at times as far as runs scored. So I think that you're going to see a pretty big total in that game, and that'll be a game a lot of people target. All right, the next 7:10 game is the San Diego Padres and Detroit Tigers. It's a total of 8.5. 80 degrees in Detroit today, breeze blowing in from center at 8 miles an hour. Mike Clevenger at 8.1K versus Garrett Hill at 7.3K. Nice 4.95 implied total for San Diego on the road here. Only a 3.55 for the Detroit Tigers. 7:10 also, we've got the Battle of New York. It's the Yankees at the Mets. Should be a great game. 81 degrees, wind blowing out to dead center at 8 miles an hour. Interesting pitching duel here, too. Jordan Montgomery, the lefty, at 8.3K against Taijuan Walker at 9.4K. Both teams have a dead even 4 implied total. So very interesting game. Lower numbers on the totals than we'd expect. So I'm very interested to see how this game's going to flow. All right, 8:10, we move to an hour later. Minnesota at Milwaukee in the Dome there in Milwaukee, 9.5 total. Dylan Bundy at 6.5K versus Ethan Small at a small salary of 5.3K. And he is a lefty going against the Twins. We have 4.75 implied for Minnesota as well as 4.75 implied for the Brewers. A game I like a little bit here to stack up for sure. These next two games, we have to watch the weather on. The middle of the country has some big rain spots, and there's definitely some chance of rain in these two games. The first one is the LA Angels and Kansas City Royals. It's an 8-10 game. The total is 8. And we have Jose Suarez, the lefty, at 6 K, going against his lefty counterpart, Angel Zerpa, at 5.7 K. 3.88 implied for the Angels, 4.12 for the Royals. A nice warm 85 degrees, a little breeze blowing in, but we do have to keep an eye on the weather. Probably the biggest concern of weather is in this game, and it's going to be a pivotal game because it's very stackable if it doesn't rain. We're setting it like a 50-50 chance that it does, but it's the Coors game. Chicago White Sox at the Colorado Rockies. 77 degrees in Colorado and breeze blowing right to left. And again, that 50-50 chance of showers in Denver this evening. It is an 8:40 p.m. game. We have great implied totals here. Great total all around. 10.5's the total. 5.25 for both sides. So don't have a ton of games with those high of totals on both sides, implied totals, but it's a Coors game, so you got to expect it. Michael Kopech at 6.8 K versus Herman Marquez at 7.1 K. All right, 9:40, we got the Houston Astros and Oakland A's in that nice chilly ballpark in Oakland. 9:40 game, 67 degrees at first pitch, and it'll get cooler as the game goes on in Oakland. 9-mile-an-hour breeze, nothing much. Only a 7 total. Everybody knows the pitching there is always much better because of the ballpark, and you have 2 decent pitchers on top of that. 3.93 implied for Houston, 3.07 for Oakland. Luis Garcia at 9.1 K and Frankie Montas at 9.6 K. So 2 pretty expensive guys, but in a really good situation there in Oakland. All right, 9:40, we've got the San Francisco Giants at the Arizona Diamondbacks, total of 8.5. 4.75 implied for San Fran, only 3.75 for Arizona. Carlos Rodon, 9.8 K versus Tyler Gilbert, 5.6 K. So 2 lefties pitching in that difficult part to hit in. Just watching some balls smack to dead center last night, and the ball just dies there to the humidor or whatever it is, but not an easy place to hit, and really helps me like Rodon tonight in that matchup. All right, 2 games left. We've got 2 late games. Maybe we can throw a late slate together because we've got 2 9:40 and 2 10:10. So we'll have to run that by our members if they want a late slate. Looks like we have 4 games to work with. That could be a fun one. All right, it is the Washington Nationals and LA Dodgers. I stayed up late watching that one last night. Looks like another interesting one tonight. Only an 8.5 total, 3.22 implied for Washington, 5.28 for the Dodgers. So nice total for them. Perfect temperature, 72 degrees, slight breeze blowing out to right center at 9 miles an hour. Josiah Gray, the youngster, 9.2 K for Washington. And Mitch White, pretty cheap at 7.6 K for the Dodgers. And then the last game on the slate, also a 10-10 start. The Rangers at Mariners in Seattle. Total of 8 in the Dome, 3.63 implied for Texas, 4.37 for the Seattle Mariners. Dane Dunning at 7.4 K versus George Kirby, the sweeper, at 8.5 K. And we'll see if he's going to suck up some of those late lineups, or is he going to be a key to one of the late lineups? So we will talk about that here briefly. All right, we're going to dive right in. No messing around today. Don't forget, check us out, dfscoachtalk.com. If you want to try us out for the rest of the week before the weekend starts, you get a 3-day pass, $10. You get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You get all of our baseball, all of our golf, all of our action. If you like it, then jump in through the weekend when we have a million things going on with MMA and NASCAR and everything else. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, this is the time. Thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. That means a lot. And give us a quick comment. All of those things matter. Hit the little alert button in the upper corner so you don't miss any of our podcasts. You can jump on there. When they premiere, I'll generally be in there to answer questions and chit chat. We get a lot of great people in there. Boy from Cali's in there usually with us every day. Todd, we've got all kinds of folks. So hopefully I'll have them jump in there with us on the premiere today. All right. So we're going to add, again, our best bets of the day today to the mix. No two brains lineup tomorrow. Hopefully we'll do one with Crash and I. All right, my pay-up pitcher today, I'm just going right to the most expensive guy. I accept the fact that he's expensive, and I can live with that. I just think that Shane McClanahan against Baltimore is just a strong way to go. Baltimore is second against lefties in strikeouts. And this is just a perfect scenario for McClanahan. Listen to these last stretch of games. It's sort of insane if you think about it. I don't know how you don't roster him. His worst game that he's had in his last 8 was last game, and he had 40 Fanduel points. How about this? 40, 61, 46, 46, 55, 49, 58. That's just his last stretch of games. So, and he lost that last game, and then that broke a winning streak of 5 in a row. So just, I mean, the dude's pitching fantastic. Baltimore K's a lot against lefties. It's in a really nice ballpark to pitch in. McClanahan's 10-3 with a 171 ERA. How about his whip is 0.8, and he's got 147 Ks. So just plug him in and go from there. There's so much value on hitting. I just think he is the way to go. A fairly close second, but definitely second for me in this mix would be our man Rodon. Rodon, you know, in this atmosphere where he's going to be pitching tonight, you know, great spot for him in Arizona. Like I said, you know, it's just that's a cavernous place to pitch. I mean, you can get away with some mistakes there. And he's been good. I mean, he's had a few iffy starts, but he's still 8-5, 295 ERA, 114 whip with a solid 138 strikeouts. We know Arizona will strike out. There's no question about it. And Rodon has monster upside. 3 games ago, he threw a 70 on the board against San Diego. He pitched 9 inning complete game, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts. So last game he did give up 5 earned, but it was to the Dodgers in LA. So that's excusable. I think he's in a phenomenal spot here. And if I can afford it and find enough value, man, would I feel good about McClanahan and Rodon together. But again, that's a big commitment because you lose some bats if you do go up that high. I'd say my value pitcher on the slate is Mr. Strider, the rookie. He really stung us last time out, but we know he's a strikeout maniac, and he's going against Philly, who will strike out. And, you know, just a great spot if he decides to throw one of those 12 strikeout games up on the board. I think that he definitely is dangerous here. Definitely a little more risk, but you get him at a good price, and that upside on the strikeouts is fantastic. I'm going to give you 2 expensive fades that I'm doing pitching-wise today. On the other side of that Strider play, I'm not going to play Aaron Nola. I just watching him pitch recently, just a little bit off, I think. And we know if you make a mistake to Atlanta, they're going to take you deep. And, you know, with Olsen and Rosario and Cano and Harris, they have a lot of left-handed hitters. And so don't think it's going to be the best spot for Nola. I think he's a little bit overpriced as well. The other guy that I'm going to fade that I think has gone pretty highly owned in certain spots. He won't here because it's against Houston, but Frankie Montas, he's pretty expensive. And I know he's showcasing to try to get traded and all that stuff, but Oakland is a great place to pitch, so I think he'll get some attention for the late game, but it's against the Astros, who have so many weapons. And if you're thinking of sliding Montas in, just think he's way overpriced and just not a good idea and not necessary on this particular slate. All right, how about we go to my BVP play of the day? And I am going to go back to against NOLA here and go with Austin Riley. I mean, that guy is just massively locked in right now. He's hitting everything all over the ballpark, and he's hit NOLA well in the past. He's 13 for 34, a cool 382, and that's against NOLA, who's had a great career. He's had 6 extra base hits, so almost half of those for extra base hits, 3 home runs. So a cool 1135 OPS, 735 slugging, 400 OBP, and 382 average. So can't beat that. And with Riley being so hot, I think he's just a really safe, solid pick today. My home run call, if he's in the lineup, hopefully he is, it's Giancarlo Stanton. He's owned Taijuan Walker in the past. He's hit a homer off him, just shown a lot of power, 1,200 OPS, 800 slugging. And I think he's just, in that ballpark with that power. I think he's the kind of guy that can really attack Walker, and he is going to be my HR call for the day. Stack wise, let's talk about that. A couple of teams that I like. I think you got to, if the Colorado game stays dry enough and rolls, I think the White Sox are due for a good game against Marquez. Of course, it's a Coors game. They have a big implied total, but man, it's, you look at the middle of that order and you think they should hit, or just listen to this order: Anderson, Vaughn, Abreu, Grandal. They got him back a few games ago. Sheets, Jimenez, Moncada, Harrison, and Engel. I mean, that's a really stout lineup. They're only 500, 48 and 48, but with that hitting and then being in Colorado, I think that's a really strong team to target. Really like them tonight. I think that I'll be 4 deep at least for them, unless the weather turns sour there for sure. The other play that's obvious is Toronto. You never know where they're going to throw another 28 on the board, but they'll be chalky as well. They're going against a weaker St. Louis pitcher in Palante. And I think just the way they're hitting and as hot as they are, they're hard to not want to stack up also. All right, Prizepicks plays of the day. And I'm going to give you these 2. I've got 4 for our members. I really like my Prizepicks plays today, but I'm going Taijuan Walker under 5 strikeouts. I just think the Yankees jump on him hard and early. I think I have just under 4 Ks, which is, I think, high because I think he's going to get knocked out of this game. So I'm taking under Taijuan Walker 5 strikeouts. And on the other side of that batted ball, I'm taking Giancarlo Stanton. It's only 7 on his fantasy score, and I'm taking the over there. If he gets scratched, we will put in a replacement for him, and we'll put that up on Twitter also. If you want to catch us on Twitter, we're at DFS Coach Talk. And as you can see under my name, I'm at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi. Crash, if you want to catch him, he's at JP Davis 1982. Okay, let's go back and pull our 2 plays of the day. And I am going to go with a couple of plays here I think are very, very solid. I'm going to go with, they don't have the line up on that game just yet. So I'm going to switch because I thought the line would be up by now, but it is not. I'm going to take the Yankees, Montgomery versus Walker. Straight up money line, they're minus 115. I think they go in here and beat the Mets at a very fair price of minus 115. So the Yankees are my top play. My second play I like is the under. I'm taking under in San Francisco, Arizona. It's set at 8.5, and it's Rodon versus Gilbert. I think Rodon shuts them down, and again, a tough place to hit for those San Francisco bats. So my second play is San Francisco, Arizona under 8.5. All right, my friends, I think that is it. Wrapping it all up in a nice, tidy bow here, full main slate. Great plays today. Love this slate. It's going to be probably a 4.5 crown slate for me, unless something goes awry with scratches in the weather. What we do here at Coach Talk is we rank each lineups that we give out for that slate. We give from a 1 to 5, 5 being the best crowns. And like I say, I'm pretty high on this slate. So if you want to catch our core build and clipboard for Draftkings, our full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo, just join us at dfscoachtalk.com. So that is it, my friends. I hope you enjoy it. We're getting this out a little earlier than normal, so maybe some folks will have a chance to check this out with their morning coffee, or certainly with their lunch, and then start building those lineups. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Definitely we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, prize picks, and betting wagers.